partly cloudy and hot and dry Thursday afternoon. That heat index up there above 100, otherwise around the mid-90s. Then the rain chance slowly comes back gradually a little bit each day Friday into the weekend. Muggy, warm start of the morning Friday. Scattered storms come back 30-40% Friday, 40-50% each day into the weekend. The 10th Annual Jewel of Madisonville Gala and Auction, Saturday, July 22nd at the Castine Center, Mandeville. Food from over 50 of St. Timothy's best restaurants. Live dance music by Groovy 7, silent and live auctions. Get your raffle tickets at the gala or online at 501auctions.com, St. Anselm, for your chance to win a 2017 $37,000 Buick Envision, donated by Rainbow North Shore Buick GMC. 985-845-7342. Ralph Sanji, WGSO.
Ladies and gentlemen, the last president of the United States of America.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy.
Battle of New Orleans Radio with your hosts Nathan Lawrenson, Caleb Hitt, and Goyim on 990 WGSO.
All right, Battle of New Orleans Radio. We are here. Well, we're still waiting for Mr. Machiavelli to show up, but myself and the producer BJ are in studio. I want to start out by saying, Caleb Hitt, our correspondent there in Ohio, needs your prayers. His mother has been dealing this weekend with some health issues, and our prayers go out to her and to Caleb and his whole family. They're really dealing with a struggle there. So, Caleb, if you're listening, man, or you hear this on the podcast or the replay on YouTube, we're thinking about you. He's not going to be on the air tonight. Again, we're waiting for Mr. Machiavelli to come in the studio. This is Goyim. And Nathan Lawrenson as well will not be in studio for the next 2 weeks. Probably won't be in studio until August. And, he's dealing with some personal stuff going on. But, again, we're going to try to hold it down for him. We got a new co-host, Mr. Machiavelli, in studio now with us on this team. And we're going to keep the train rolling as Nathan tries to run for mayor. And, the situation in New Orleans, Machiavelli went to an event yesterday in New Orleans for LaToya Cantrell. And at that same location, the New Orleans Jazz Market, Mitch Landrieu is having a meeting next week, July 27th. Supposed to be some kind of town hall meeting where you can ask him questions. But anyways, Mr. Machiavelli and another member of his team went to this event, kind of infiltrated the event, saw a lot of people from Antifa and a lot of the monument resistors, the anti-monument Antifa members, Green Party and this and that were at this event. And we've been saying on the show for a while now that LaToya Cantrell is the hand-picked puppet of Walt Isaacson. All signs point to this Aspen Institute. Walt is the head of the Aspen Institute, and now he's transferring into a job as a Tulane University professor. But this Aspen Institute has its claws in the charter schools in New Orleans, has its claws in, a lot of the things that we see happening in New Orleans. It's kind of a subsidiary of the United Nations and this Agenda 21 plan, which, again, talks a lot about population relocation and kind of stack and pack housing and gentrification, relocating whites and blacks in particular. The gentrification process is upsetting a lot of the traditionally African-American areas of the city where a lot of these hipsters are moving in from the Northeast, and they're basically being priced out of those neighborhoods that used to be their neighborhoods in their eyes. And at the same time, you see a downtown in New Orleans with all this stack and pack condos and, housing just big enough for maybe one person and a cat, no kids, depopulation housing or whatever you want to call it. We're seeing more of that downtown, that Poydras Street corridor. And we've said it on the air multiple times that since the monuments came down, I see people on social media talk about it all the time that, crime's up, the monuments are down. People are upset about the direction of the city, but this is happening across the nation. They're taking monuments down in Missouri. They're taking them down in Florida. They're taking them down in Louisiana, obviously. They're going for Texas. They're going for every monument, every historical monument that's out there that represents maybe Civil War history or just history in general. And it's not organic. It's not just something that happened in New Orleans, obviously. And it ties into Agenda 21 with the, part 4 of Agenda 21 talking about cultural equality and social justice kind of, framework for the country. And the Aspen Institute, tying into Walt Isaacson, who lives on Napoleon Avenue, he himself being the head of this group, they're a subsidiary of the United Nations, and they're pushing for a lot of the agendas that we see going on across the country and the world, really, that a lot of our listeners and ourselves do not approve of, whether it be open borders, the Kalargi plan, the relocation of Muslims, these wars, like Wesley Clark predicted, these overseas Middle Eastern wars that just seem to have no end. And, of course, they're targeting Iran and, I guess North Korea next, because North Korea and Iran don't have Rothschild central banks, which we've discussed on the air multiple times. But again, you see what's happening in New Orleans. They're letting the crime get out of control on purpose. They're letting this fear and it's real. It's real. The crime is real. They're letting the crime get out of control so that it scares away resistors. The average person is either going to leave the city or say, this is too much. It's not safe for me to raise kids here. And they're fine with that. Don't have kids. Okay. And if you do have kids, move out to the suburbs. And if that doesn't work, we'll push you out even further. So, when everyone's gone, all the resistors are gone, and everyone who's left are either out-of-towners who saw an ad in the New York Times that they could move down to New Orleans for $1,200 a month, which is a lot of these people are doing, and say the Section 8 housing and whatnot, they're totally controllable. That group that's left behind is totally controllable. But the mom and pops that are dealing with this boycott with the monuments, the mom and pop restaurants, the mom and pop businesses are getting squeezed, not only with the monuments, but the crime. They're scared. Their customers are scared. They're not getting as much business. I mean, look at Bourbon Street. It's all ripped up. Mitch is pushing this agenda with his family member's concrete company, and it's taken forever. It's killing those Bourbon Street businesses. And guess what? Excuse me. If they close, they're going to usher in more of these prefab nightclubs and bars. And it's already like that to begin with, but I think it's going to be the final nail in the coffin on any mom and pop bars down there. And then you see in New Orleans around Poydras Street, and we talked about it before, Dave & Buster's is open, Waffle House is up and down Canal. We got Sephora Jewelry now downtown in the French Quarter. I mean, the antiquity of the city is being lost because of the crime, the boycott, and the general perception that the city's unsafe, that it's not salvageable, and they're doing the same thing to this city that I think these globalists like Walt Isaacson did to cities like Detroit, St. Louis. And we've said this multiple times on the show, okay? It's critical for our listeners to understand that this is the blueprint, that this is not just Mitch Landrieu. He's just a puppet in this game, and they need to clear out these entities, these resistors. And the monuments was the start. The crime is second. And it's going to be a crime-ridden summer. I mean, now it's football. Yeah, it's hot. People got a short temper. And the NOPD standing down, it looks like on purpose. They could have put a cap on this crime a long time ago, I think. But they haven't. They've let it get out of control. People are giving up on the city. I've talked to a lot of people who listen to the show and beyond that, who just say, they're fed up. And now you see this mayoral race coming together. You got guys like Nathan Lawrenson running. You got Frank Skurlock. You got Edward Bruschi, some independents like that. And it's great. But again, LaToya Cantrell is the handpicked puppet, and she's going to be hard to beat. She's the money choice. She's the one with the backing. She's the one with all the pretty events, the town hall meetings, the funded free food events and whatnot. So again, she looks like she's going to carry on the legacy Walt Isaacson's trying to set up with his master plan, Agenda 21 Resilient City Plan for New Orleans. And again, referencing, say, Detroit and St. Louis in comparison to New Orleans, they let the crime get out of control. People give up on the city. Businesses and housing become blighted and left behind. Grass overgrows, prices go down, and these globalists pick up and buy whole blocks and blocks of these cities, or they control them, or they say this is blighted, or no one paid the property tax on this. This is city property now, and then they pull it all back up. So this is a long-term plan for them to clear out the area, to grab what's left behind. And chances are most of the resistors who leave are never going to come back. They might visit for the weekend, but they're not going to live in the city. So, we were going to have a mayoral debate tonight. We might get Frank Skurlock to call in later. Edward Brewski's working tonight. We have Charles Anderson, who was also going to be on talking about his mayoral campaign. That's the rapping candidate who recently was in the news. But we're going to actually try to postpone that to next week, when we have some of those guys in studio or via phone or Skype, to discuss the mayoral race and to discuss what they plan to do for the city. How are they going to take out LaToya Cantrell when she's the money girl? Again, our goal is to expose the problem. Walt Isaacson is a big issue. We definitely have to question this guy and not be scared to point fingers and ask questions about Mitch Landrieu or LaToya Cantrell's involvement with this guy. He is the former head of the CNN. He is the head of the Aspen Institute, a subsidiary of the United Nations. He was a private donor in the monument removal. He is a member of the Trilateral Commission. So again, we're going to be coming to a break soon. If you want to call up 504-556-9696, we kind of have a wide open show tonight. If you want to call in, you want to go on a rant, anything you want to talk about, Mr. Machiavelli will be here shortly, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Battle of New Orleans Radio.
Enjoy fresh fruit grown in your yard. JohnnyAppleseedTrees.com delivers and installs fruit trees and fruiting vines to your home or condo. Proudly serving Kenner, Metairie, and New Orleans. Apples, apricots, blackberries, citrus, figs, grapes, peaches, pears, persimmons, plums, and raspberries. All the trees and fruiting vines are grown right here in South Louisiana. Check out the Fruit Tree Guide for more information and visit JohnnyAppleseedTrees.com today. It's a great time to plant. JohnnyAppleseedTrees.com. As the corporate media dies, MetroNow.com and TheDailyResistance.com continue to give you a decentralized and independent take on the latest current events as well as historical reference to help you wade through the propaganda of the prostitute media. Our mission is to inform the people of New Orleans about the issues of freedom, health, world events, and much more so that we as a community can thrive in the 21st century. Only with an informed public will we truly be free and independent. So take a look at MetroNow.com or TheDailyResistance.com as your independent news source.
Whether you're in the real estate market to buy, sell, lease, or looking for someone just to manage your properties, look no further than Paula Bourne with Plantation Properties. She has 34 years experience and is an expert of all of the latest programs available to homeowners. She has been my trusted realtor for years now. So please call Paula Bourne with Plantation Properties at 504-858-9293. That's 504-858-9293. Renovations Your Way. They renovate to fit your needs with complete customer service from start to finish that goes way beyond the job. With over 20 years experience, and they are fully insured, and they support the Battle of New Orleans Radio to unite the metro area in the fight for liberty.
Visit us on the web at renovationsyourway.com or call me, Daniel, at 985-402-5916. That's 985-402-5916. renovationsyourway.com. Mention you heard about us on Battle of New Orleans Radio and receive a 10% discount.
Does your house have a clogged up toilet, faulty electrical wires, or AC or heater just isn't blowing properly? Well, call Herman with Superior AC, Electrical, and Plumbing at 985-781-0418. Also specializes in new construction and covers the whole New Orleans metro area. So please, call our friend Herman with Superior AC, Electrical, and Plumbing at 985-781-0418. That's 985-781-0418.
You own a gun to protect you and your family, but do you have what you need to protect yourself? God forbid you ever have to use your gun. Firearms Legal Protection provides for legal protection in the aftermath of a shooting. Firearms Legal Protection pays up to $250,000 for your bail bond and uncapped limits for criminal and civil legal fees. They pay the attorneys directly, no reimbursements. And they even include incident cleanup plans starting as low as $9.95 a month. That's Firearm Legal Protection. Sign up online at firearmslegal.com/LAMSFLP.
Care about you at all.
The views and opinions expressed in this song are those of Diesel Automatic and millions of others worldwide and are based on factual information available to the public. Nonetheless, skepticism is encouraged, and I highly recommend that everyone listen to these issues on their own and draws their own conclusions. It's our obligation to ourselves, our families, and our people. Now let's go. First of all, rest in peace George Carlin and Michael Jackson. Now it's time for action. The government got us trapped. We had enough of this crap. They took our freedom and our dough, and now we taking it back. Don't gotta take it as fact. Go get the knowledge yourself. They run the education system, so.
All right, we are back. Battle of New Orleans Radio. You know, we were talking before the break, or I was, that, you know, the situation with LaToya Cantrell and Walt Isaacson is clear to me that she's the chosen one. They want her to be the next hand-picked puppet. And it's questionable that Mitch is going to stay in office all the way till June of 2018. But again, you know, we try to resist with the monuments. It's sad, but we failed. You know, Phil the Patriot was out there, Machiavelli, Nathan, myself. We were cleaning the monuments. But we see this is not an organic process, that this is happening nationwide. And the cultural Marxism is basically taking a hold of the country. And at the same time, who knows what's going to happen with our border situation? Who knows what's going to happen with our fiat currency backed by nothing? I think this is a big distraction. Again, you know, Trump, they're trying to impeach, whether you love Trump or not, whether you think he's co-opted by the New World Order or you think he's a great guy. It seems like they are going to try to impeach him in September. That's what I'm hearing and seeing based on the blogs, the Green Party blogs, and the Antifas. They're all promoting like a massive civil unrest movement in September. And again, you see this when the sports distraction is limited. You know, right now there's not much football to distract us. There's not that much basketball going on. There's no basketball going on. You got a little bit of baseball down here. That's not a very popular sport. So you see this propaganda in the news about Trump, about civil unrest, about social equality with every group. Every group is up and divided and pushed up against each other. Women versus man, white versus black, Democrat, Republican, atheist, Christian, you name it. So we got a caller on line number one, Jorge in Uptown. Jorge, you're on the air, Battle of New Orleans Radio.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, man. Do you have a question or comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know I was at Cantrell's speaking event last night. I can give y'all the rundown on it.
All right. Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, we were talking about that, and actually I think Mr. Machiavelli was there too. Give our listeners an idea of what you saw there and what kind of vibe you got from that event and what she was really talking about, because again, I haven't really heard much about it, but I knew it happened yesterday. So go ahead.
Well, I want to start off by saying I have been a fan of a lot of LaToya's work in the past. Mm-hmm. And she was probably number 2 of my favorite on the council. So it's not like I have a hard bias against her. I've had plenty of friends volunteer for her campaign in the past. That being said, if she is, you know, Walt's select to go become the mayor of the city, yeah, basically she was just hitting all the typical talking points that a Democratic mayor in a major metropolitan area would touch up on, how the previous administration has failed when it comes to crimes. Not once did I hear taxes brought up there at all, though. I heard the pandering to affordable housing, but the reason why housing is so high is because we're allowing all these people from out of state to come in and move in and artificially inflate the market values of the homes.
I agree with that, Jorge.
Airbnb. And not a single council person or legislative representative has addressed the issue of people from out of state coming in and artificially raising the prices of our rents.
Hey, let me ask you a question, Jorge. Did they bring up the red light cameras? You know, because we've been talking about that on the shows. Go ahead.
Yeah, she did bring up the red light cameras, and that was the biggest round of applause she got from the audience.
Wow.
How the red light cameras were, especially going after the poor and working class. And hell, I was even cheering her at that comment.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
listen.
we all know it's a farce.
Yeah, I mean, of course they're going to hit points that resonate with everybody right now, and then once they get into office, things change. You know, they got to follow their handler's rule. But
it's just like Mitch. They say one thing, do another.
Exactly. And I mean, you know, I don't know if she flip-flopped on the monument situation. I heard some story that she was in the city council and they were calling her Uncle Tom because she was either on the fence or she was, I don't know what happened.
What happened. She wanted it to be from the grassroots effort. She did not like how it was top down from Mitch. And she wanted to put it to a vote. And then she started getting called Uncle Tom and,
wow,
you know, house blank and coon and all this other stuff. And it was just really wrong. You see which side the racism comes from in America at that point. The fact that if you don't toe the party line, you're automatically charged with being against them.
Well, you know, Nathan.
There's no room for growth and ideals.
Well, Nathan Lawrenson, our co-host, is going to be out for a couple weeks. He's running, and he's pushing to eliminate the red light cameras. I'm surprised Latoya brought it up because turns out this red light camera company is based in Arizona, is 30% owned by Goldman Sachs, an international banking cartel, offshore international banking cartel. None of this money is going to the city. The people, the potholes,
Mitch's pockets. That's about it.
Exactly, and whatever's left, whatever kickback he got for keeping his mouth shut, the rest is going out of state or even out of the country. So
I think we only get like 15 or 20% too.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a very small margin.
I'm not surprised to hear that, you know. And they put these cars out there with a fleur de lis, and you think it's local, but it's really not. And you know, it's really crazy. What are we going to do? Let me ask you a question, and I'll let you continue. Yeah. What are we going to do about the mentality in New Orleans, the give up, the boycott, the kind of like, we want to quit, we want to give up on the city? My take on it is that's exactly what they want. They want people to give up on the city so they can basically scoop up what's left. Listen, New Orleans is the #2 port in the United States. I mean, we are centrally located here. We are at the mouth of the Mississippi River from a financial standpoint, and they want to basically make it so miserable with the crime issues and whatnot, the pothole situation, not solve anything, you know, make everything divide and conquer with the monuments, that people give up. But again, I've suggested that this is a long-term plan to scare off resistors and kind of scoop up what's left behind. So what's your take on that, and whatever else you want to say on this call, go for it.
Well, I think you're dead on the money when it comes to the long-term plan about getting the actual people who built the city out of it. I don't mean physically built it, they're all dead, but people who have grown up and call this city home, you know, those of us who have lived here, you know, for more than 10 years, or our families are from here.
Well,
They're
Jorge,
trying to get us out of there so that, like you were saying earlier, they can get real estate developers coming down from New York. They let they let entire city blocks turn to properties so that the city can repossess them and then sell them off again for inflated values to these developers coming down.
Yeah, well, listen, we got about 30 seconds left till the break. Any final thoughts?
Pressure. Nothing really. That our main problem in New Orleans is that we like to drink and eat and have a lot of fun, and that's a big distraction. And now people are waking up to it because everything's so expensive.
Yeah, you're right. All right, Jorge, appreciate that call, man. Great, very insightful. Look, we're coming to a break. Machiavelli is coming in studio soon. Thanks for the call, Jorge. And if anybody else wants to call it, 504-556-9696. The lines are open. We'll be right back.
Jobs may change, but your retirement dreams don't have to. Roll over your retirement accounts from former employers into an Ameriprise IRA to help make your retirement dreams a reality. Call Ralph Leopold today at 504-322-2975. That's 504-322-2975. Office is located at Suite 1620 in the Galleria, Metairie, Louisiana. Ameriprise Financial Services, Incorporated. Member FINRA and SIPC. Ameriprise cannot guarantee future financial results.
What does Grace mean to you? For us, it means that in 3 years, Grace at the Green Light, a 501c3 nonprofit organization, has served over 60,000 meals and distributed over 250,000 bottles of water to the street homeless in New Orleans. Grace at the Greenlight would like to thank Faubourg Private Wealth for sponsoring and making a difference in New Orleans. Faubourg Private Wealth, holistic planning tailored to your family.
Do you fight for liberty? Do you want prosperity here in Louisiana and our country? Do you want to defeat the fake news media? Listen to Iron Liberty News Radio, hosted by Colonel Rob Maness on WGSO 990 AM Monday evenings at 7 to 9 p.m. You can support us by going to ironlibertynews.com and putting a sponsorship in for Iron Liberty News Radio Monday evenings, 7 to 9 p.m. on WGSO 990 AM. This is Rob Maness. America sent us around the world defending freedom, so we know that St. Tammany is the only place we want to live. But we see our neighbors' kids leaving because politicians in Baton Rouge are killing jobs with high taxes. The successful leadership I've shown as a business owner, Fortune 500 executive, and Air Force colonel is desperately needed at the Capitol to build a Louisiana our children can stay and prosper in. That's why I need you to elect me as your state representative in the special election October 14th. Go to robmaness.com to contact our campaign. Paid for by friends of Colonel Rob Maness.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Halen Doty. A fatal home invasion in Zachary left one suspect dead and another behind bars. Police Chief David McDavid says the deceased, 20-year-old Damon Hayes Jr., allegedly broke in with 20-year-old Jordell Hayes and possibly two other suspects.
Once inside, they began robbing the homeowner what appeared to be a weapon. The homeowner was able to get up and retrieve a weapon and began shooting.
Hayes died in the incident and Carter was arrested. Two other suspects are still at large. Monroe Police Chief Quentin Holmes announced he will retire on July 30th. Holmes was named police chief in 2011 and received a no-confidence vote from the union nearly 3 years ago. But he says this has nothing to do with his retirement.
What I'm looking at is what's best for me and my family and moving forward. And ultimately, the most important factor that I consider is, one, to make sure I leave the city in good ground.
KNOE reports they received anonymous calls saying there's bad blood between Chief Holmes and Mayor Jamie Mayo. Louisiana Radio Network.
Good morning, ma'am. I'm Detective Big. This is Detective Money.
Morning, ma'am.
You were found carrying a big bag of cash. Can you explain this and just the facts, ma'am?
Well, okay. I bought this new instant scratch-off ticket, Big Money.
Yes, ma'am?
What?
You said big money.
Well, that's right.
Please proceed, ma'am.
Well, I scratched off these little circles of cash here.
Circles of cash? Go on, ma'am.
I guess it was my lucky day because I won big money.
What's that, ma'am?
What's what?
What did you win, ma'am?
Big money.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I won.
Won what?
Big money.
Well, thank you, ma'am. I think I understand.
Could you explain it to me?
Get the facts and play Big Money, the new $10 scratch-off from the Louisiana Lottery. Win up to $200,000. Win up to 20 times. Visit your lottery retailer today.
I'm not sure what the issue is. I like playing Big Money.
Is this some sort of game to you, ma'am?
Oh, exactly!
Play Big Money from the lottery. Win up to $200,000. Must be at least 21 to purchase.
This is Jeff Cruier with my commentary of the day. Well, they're off. The candidates for mayor of New Orleans are qualified. The race has begun. 18 candidates are in the field. And let's hope we don't hear about taking down Confederate monuments or fighting global warming. Let's hope we hear about crime and why this administration cut the budget for the DA, cut the number of police officers, supports higher taxes and more speed cameras and more parking meters and more fees, yet doesn't have the money for critical crime fighting duties. This administration pushes every liberal code word such as equity, sustainability, diversity, resiliency. Let's encourage the next mayor to focus on the word safety and the important phrase law and order, two words that have been missing from New Orleans during the past 2 terms. It all boils down to this: there are too many criminals, not enough police officers, and our citizens aren't safe. Every other issue is secondary. More info on this and the other hot topics of the day, check out ringsidepolitics.com.
I have to get to sleep.
Tom had a stressful day, and now he can't shut down at bedtime.
Need sleep.
To fall asleep fast, millions of people turn to Unisom sleep gels. They're non-habit forming and quickly help you sleep soundly so you wake recharged. Tom? Unisom sleep gels. A stressful day deserves a restful night. Use as directed. Active ingredient diphenhydramine hydrochloride.
I'm Rocky Moselle with StarRegistry.com. Since we were children, we've been told to reach for the stars. It was great advice. Now it's a great gift. Name a star after someone. For $54 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, we will name a star after someone very special to you and send an incredible personalized gift. The new star name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Call the Star Registry, 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com for the hottest gift.
Gathered in their masses.
Live is the Battle of New Orleans radio show with Goyim and Machiavelli.
All right, we are here in studio. Again, we apologize. Caleb Hitt is not in studio. He's dealing with some family issues. Nathan also is preoccupied for the next 2 weeks, so we're looking forward to them coming back maybe in August. But again, Mr. Machiavelli and myself are going to be holding it down. We just got a call from Jorge. He went to the LaToya Cantrell event yesterday in New Orleans, and she's the hand-picked puppet, we think, by Walt Isaacson, and for us to get to the bottom of this situation in New Orleans where the crime's out of control, the monuments are down with no questions asked, there's no recourse for what businesses were involved, where these monuments are, whether they're corroding or not, like Mr. Machiavelli always says. People are apathetic or they're worn out, they're tired, and that's exactly where you're supposed to be. And then, of course, I always bring up the sports distraction. Once the football starts, forget about it. I mean, I'll give you a side story, Machiavelli.
What's that?
Last year, they had flooding in Livingston Parish, Louisiana.
Right.
And you know what? People cared for about that week before football started. But, man, when football started, they forgot all about helping those people out. We were volunteering. Actually, some listeners from our show were helping volunteer for that. But that just shows you, now is the time they propagandize us. They're pushing for this Trump impeachment. And I said it before, I'll say it again. I think they're shooting for September to push this agenda, this civil unrest. And we see it now. Everything's a big old protest. Human chains on the side of the road, or, everything's about social equality, and every group has been disenfranchised. But it really does tie into the sports calendar, because when we are not distracted with football and basketball like we are right now in the middle of the summer, that's when they give us this propaganda. And truth be told, people are somewhat awake now, but man, when football starts, forget about it. They forget quick about what the pressing issues are, whether it be helping your fellow man, or a lot of the stuff we talk about on the show, resisting the New World Order, or on a local level trying to save the monuments and this and that. So
right. Yeah, no, you're exactly correct. And speaking of the floods in Livingston Parish and near Baton Rouge in the central area, we all know Justin Cray was involved with that too. So not only is he an Antifa scum, he also decides to go and help people in the time of need. So I guess he's not that bad. But I wanted to ask you, Goyim, what do you think about the recent storytelling that they had at an Algiers library about, it was the storytelling of some books. The first book was written by the storyteller's father, but the storyteller is actually a drag queen. So they call it the Drag Queen Story Hour. They do it every few months. I called the library and I asked a lady about it, and her name was Seal. And it's some library on the West Bank in Algiers. Well, anyway, she said that there were 4 stories read, and the first story was one that was written by the drag queen's father. I'm interested to know what the content of that particular story is. And then also, I'm kind of confused as to why they're doing this. This is becoming a new trend across the nation. So I'm kind of wondering, what do you think about it? Is this conditioning for the children? Is this to take them away from the norms that we were brought up in, or
Mr.
what?
Machiavelli, I'll listen. This is what I'll say. When people say, look, they're like Alex Jones says, oh, they're putting stuff in the food to turn frogs gay.
Mm-hmm.
There's some truth to the fact that they're putting things, say, the macaroni and cheese, that packet. We saw it in the news this week. They're talking about that having all kinds of testosterone decreasers and things that
estrogen mimickers.
Yeah, and all these estrogen mimickers and sperm count decreasers and whatnot for depopulation, for just, and then you look at the cultural Marxist agenda, which me and Machiavelli were talking off air about. They want to keep everything mixed up, everything mixed up. They want to keep everyone divided and mixed up on what to believe and what not to believe. And when you have so many families broken up like you do now, it's easy to look for a savior. I mean, I come from a 2-parent household, but not every situation is perfect. Mine wasn't. But that being said, there's so many broken homes, so much debt matrix. These young kids nowadays are just looking for that social engineering or that social programming. Like you said, they're easily moldable, and they're vulnerable to this. So, I mean, I don't exactly know why they're pushing this agenda. I know this. They want people to depopulate. They're saying that the world's overpopulated, between the stuff they're putting in the foods, like you said, and the decreasers of the estrogen increasers and the sperm count decreasers. They're making life very difficult to reproduce or afford to reproduce or have children because of the inflation from these fiat currencies, this central bank that we live under, the Federal Reserve, formed in Jekyll Island, Georgia. So when you combine all that, and then you combine that variable of chaos or disorganization, or just like, what does this mean? Where everything's wide open,
right?
That there's no morals anymore. That everything's just, it's a free for all. Do what matters to your feels and your comfort zones. Don't worry about YOLO. Worry about it later. We'll pay for it later. Put it on a credit card, or, well, that's how you feel. It's all about comfort zones and feels. So again, it's chaos and order by chaos, as the elitists have always said. The ends justify the means, and the order by chaos. I would consider this a tactic to create more chaos in the youth, and I mean, again, the homosexual community is like 0.3% of the country. If you look at the mass media, you would assume it's, 30-40%, which isn't the case. Now, I don't know. It might be a distractionary tool,
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, just like we talk about with New Orleans, are they using this crime to scare people off? Or are they using this crime, Machiavelli, to usher in an Orwellian TSA, NSA, pat downs? You're hearing it now on the local news, Machiavelli. They're talking about stop and frisk. I mean, is this constitutional? But you will sign on. The average lemming in America will sign on to this because out of fear. They're gonna give up their freedom out of fear and their need for security.
Right.
But the Hegelian dialectic, they create the problem, create the solution. I mean, I'm older, but when Dennis Rodman played basketball, he would create the problem. He'd yank on Karl Malone's pants, and he'd run towards the referee. Why? So that he can get the retaliation from Karl Malone and get the technical foul. So it's the same thing here. They let the crime get out of control, and they usher in either A, like Jorge, the last caller, said, a new sustainable blueprint for New Orleans when everyone leaves. Or B, they usher in this unconstitutional stop and frisk, Orwellian. Well, we have to have drones in the sky, Machiavelli. It's for your safety.
Right.
Well, we have to have search, stop and frisk. We have to have register all your guns or hand them over, whatever the case may be. Whatever agenda they need to push, they can use crime as a vehicle to usher in their agenda. So,
well, there's drones that the law enforcement is using up north. I forgot which state it's in, but they can actually make arrests now.
Oh yeah, it's all for your safety.
Yeah, and they're also going to be installing street lights that can issue citations and also can give you voice commands over a speaker system.
And all this is robotics, Machiavelli. And we talked on the air a lot about the technocracy that's coming, whether it be fast food employees who are screaming for $15 an hour. Guess what? They're only going to usher in the robotics at your hamburger joint all the quicker. That's the thing. There's, it kind of eliminates your job when you promote a higher wage. I know you need, I understand with the inflation from the Federal Reserve, it's not a livable wage. It's sad, but that's the reality. I don't really have a solution to that other than to abolish the Federal Reserve. And that's something that's eating all of us up. Everyone in this studio is being eaten up by the inflation from the Federal Reserve. But we talked a lot about robotics taking a lot of jobs. They're projecting in the next 20 years that, upwards of 40% of the low income jobs, like these manual labor jobs, are going to be, obsolete. Fast food joints. And then you look at the police force here. He's talking about drones in the sky, robotic cameras that are basically going to replace the human element of the, the old cop on the street or the beat cops, which we don't really see much in New Orleans because, we're so depleted on the NOPD, which is purposeful. But again, as far as the original point, I kind of went off on a tangent there. Machiavelli's talking about these local story times with these drag queens and whatnot. Listen, this is all red herring stuff. It doesn't really, in the big picture, have a major impact. But I will say this. There is an intentional agenda with this that probably is on the evil side from a standpoint of trying to mold our young children into very cultural Marxist, satisfy your comforts and your needs and your feels, as opposed to having any morality, whether you're quote unquote gay or not. It just, it's a breakdown of morality, which we see across the board. And that's not just in any group or, subsect of society. I mean, whether it be women and man or white or black or whatever, Asian, Latino, it's a breakdown of morality across the board. Anyways, look, we got 30 seconds left till the break. Machiavelli's typing up some stuff for the next segment. If you want to call in, 504-556-9696.
Call us.
We got a wide open show tonight. We're a little depleted on our staff, but we're going to hold it down, and we'll be right back. Battle of New Orleans Radio.
We got a wide open show tonight. We're a little depleted on our staff, but we're going to hold it down, and we'll be right back.
Ooh-wee. Hey, David, that smell good. What you eating on?
Man, I'm eating on some shrimp I got from J&N Big Easy Seafood.
Man, I had to get me some of that.
Yeah, bro, they specialize in the delivery, catering of 20 pounds or more boiled or live shrimp, crawfish, catfish, crabs, frog legs, and much more.
And how do I get in touch with J&N's Big Easy Seafood?
Just call them up. Call 985-640-8822. That's 985-640-8822.
Renovations Your Way. They renovate to fit your needs with complete customer service from start to finish that goes way beyond the job. With over 20 years experience, and they are fully insured, and they support the Battle of New Orleans Radio to unite the metro area in the fight for liberty.
Visit us on the web at renovationsyourway.com or call me, Daniel, at 985-402-5916. That's 985-402-5916. renovationsyourway.com. Mention you heard about us on Battle of New Orleans Radio and receive a 10% discount.
Does your house have a clogged up toilet, faulty electrical wires, or AC or heater just isn't blowing properly? Well, call Herman with Superior AC, Electrical, and Plumbing at 985-781-0418. Also specializes in new construction and covers the whole New Orleans metro area. So please, call our friend Herman with Superior AC, Electrical, and Plumbing at 985-781-0418. That's 985-781-0418. Whether you're in the real estate market to buy, sell, lease, or looking for someone just to manage your properties, look no further than Paula Bourne with Plantation Properties. She has 34 years experience and is an expert of all of the latest programs available to homeowners. She has been my trusted realtor for years now. So please call Paula Bourne with Plantation Properties at 504-858-9293. That's 504-858-9293.
As the corporate media dies, MetroNow.com and TheDailyResistance.com continue to give you a decentralized and independent take on the latest current events as well as historical reference to help you wade through the propaganda of the prostitute media. Our mission is to inform the people of New Orleans about the issues of freedom, health, world events, and much more so that we as a community can thrive in the 21st century. Only with an informed public will we truly be free and independent. So take a look at MetroNow.com or TheDailyResistance.com as your independent news source. Enjoy fresh fruit grown in your yard. JohnnyAppleseedTrees.com delivers and installs fruit trees and fruiting vines to your home or condo. Proudly serving Kenner, Metairie, and New Orleans. Apples, apricots, blackberries, citrus, figs, grapes, peaches, pears, persimmons, plums, and raspberries. All the trees and fruiting vines are grown right here in South Louisiana. Check out the Fruit Tree Guide for more information and visit JohnnyAppleseedTrees.com today. It's a great time to plant. JohnnyAppleseedTrees.com.
And we're back at the Battle of New Orleans Radio, myself and Goyim, and we are here to let you know a few good things. I was just looking at NOLA.com, and even though I was present yesterday at Martin Luther King and Aretha Castle Haley, where Miss Cantrell was speaking to a large group of people.
Yeah, what happened over there, man?
Oh,
we had one caller say he was there, but what's your take on it?
Well, you know, it was cool. It was cool. I really enjoyed it.
Free food?
You know, the free food. I mean, yeah, they had an amazing food truck. I wish they would have had my friend's food truck out there, Rolling Fatties. That's an amazing one, too. But anyway, I'm reading right here, NOLA.com. LaToya Cantrell comes full circle on traffic cameras, saying now she would shut them off, man. So LaToya is basically saying that she will allow me to not have my Sixth Amendment constitutional rights violated anymore. I mean, isn't that beautiful? Yep. The confrontation clause, which allows me to face my accuser, will no longer be abused and used and raped and everything like that by these goofy cameras. So, I mean, you know, my question has always been, if I have my right to face my accuser, how can I face my accuser when my accuser is a machine that
Based
has
in Arizona?
Yeah, that isn't even 100% accurate from what the company that makes him in Arizona told me on the phone.
They're shortening the time there on the yellow light.
Right. So, you know, I really like seeing this, and I couldn't even hear her do her speech yesterday because of this guy outside who recognized me. He's one of Gene Black's friends. He's one of Gene Black's friends, and what the problem was I walked outside and he said, "Hey man," he called me by my first name. And you know, he starts going nuts on me, man. He told me, he says, you know, you're murdering black people, you're doing this and you're doing
an
this.
Abortionist.
And I'm like, whoa, hold on, dude. Who did I murder?
What abortion clinic do you work at?
Right. I was about to say, wait, do I work for Planned Parenthood?
Guy, all right.
I was checking my shirt and everything, but no.
PP.
But anyway, man, me and him kept going back and forth, and you know, he shook my hand towards the end,
there,
somewhere
buddy.
in the middle. Actually, one guy came up and said that he had even he decided to randomly tell me that he had met David Duke, and he was proud to shake David Duke's hand a long time ago. And I was like, well, look, okay, that's cool. And I was like, but we're not talking about that right now. And then, but anyway, Miss Cantrell told me that she will be attending our show in studio. She was either going to do it tonight or next week.
Okay.
So she told me I called her on her cell phone yesterday. The day before yesterday, she said maybe. Yesterday, she said no, she couldn't do it this week. So next week, I'm hoping.
Next
but anyway,
week, we'll get Skurlock in here too.
Yeah,
Brewski, we'll have a big old party.
We can, yeah, that'd be beautiful. If Skurlock isn't traveling, of course.
He might be traveling.
Yeah, he might be in Singapore or Las Vegas or LA. But no, I really enjoy this, and but you know, the thing that I don't enjoy is all the crime in the city. And one of the people outside was actually somebody who is part of the Green Party, like I was texting with you about. And so anyway, she was telling me that she really respected me, even though we disagree on a lot of things. But she was telling me that I am correct when I went on Frank Skurlock's show, The Spirit of New Orleans, on Channel 20 every Friday night, that the NOPD needs to switch to 12-hour shifts so that they could have more time off and be able to utilize more officers per watch, whether it be day or night watch. So anyway, I was glad to hear that from the opposition. And then she went on to telling me some other different things about how some guy assaulted her when she was at the Green Party's national conference up north in Newark, New Jersey. But regardless of that, man, the crime's still out of control.
And that affects both sides, Machiavelli. I mean, whether you're the crime. I mean, the Green Party, or if you're pro-monument or anti-monument,
right.
You're up for grabs. It's all up for grabs right now. Same thing with the stuff we're talking about. These are bipartisan issues. When the Federal Reserve inflates your currency, it affects everyone, from the panhandler who gets a piece of crap Magic Beans dollar to us who work for this and that. Same thing with the crime. Same thing with these things they're putting in our foods, the GMO foods, the estrogen increasers. So I mean, listen, these are bipartisan issues, and people don't want to talk about it. And listen, the Kalargi plan, the relocation of war refugees into North America and Europe, is going to affect everyone. So as you see these low-income people chanting for open borders, guess what? These people are going to come, and they're going to work for cheaper than you. They are willing to work for cheaper than you. They're going to get basically Section 8 housing and free home provisions and government aid. And on top of that, they can work for cheap and have a pretty good life over here. So, you have to look at the big picture here. We talked a lot about the Machiavelli's laughing in studio. Listen, we got a caller on the line number 1.
Yeah, I think we got Daryl in Alabama. Let's go to Daryl.
Go ahead, Daryl.
Hey, Daryl, what's up, brother?
What's up, brother?
Nothing much, man. I'm in here with Goyim, and you've met him before. You'd recognize him.
So this
he's been out at the monument.
I've been at the monuments, man. We were out there cleaning them before this all went down, and it's a sad state of things.
Daryl was out there a lot. Daryl played a huge part in the monuments, and he really did a lot of great things. So what's on your mind, Daryl? What's going on, brother?
Well, we were talking about, I was sitting there listening to y'all talking about everything that's going on. There's a lot that when I first came down to NOLA,
right?
Okay, I haven't really talked much about everything that went on in NOLA. I went back home to recuperate after Mayday. Because when I got attacked in Mayday, I got hurt.
Your leg got hurt real bad, right? Wasn't it your calf area on one leg?
Yeah, one of my legs got infected, and I got a concussion from the fight that night.
Well, Daryl, let me say this for the listeners. May Day happened on a Monday. I'm not sure exactly what day, but it was at Jefferson Davis. May 1st. Thank you, Machiavelli. May 1st, Jefferson Davis Monument, the second monument, that they were really targeting before they then finally took down Beauregard and Lee. So for all our listeners who want to know we had out-of-state people who were willing to come to our city and support our monuments, even when our own local resistors were just keyboard warriors saying, look, I hope somebody does something about this. And let me say one last thing, Daryl. I'm sorry I interrupted it. But everything that happened with the monuments is going to happen with every agenda the New World Order is pushing on your city, your country, and your world. Because the way that's a microcosm of everything, guys, Daryl, Machiavelli, because the way we handle that, I hope somebody else takes care of it, is the same way everything else is going to go down the pipe. So go ahead, Daryl. Again, we appreciate you coming down here and fighting the good fight. And I'm sorry to hear you got hurt, man.
Well, like you said, everything you're saying is 100% right. I know about what I've seen, and everything that's went on. I agree with you 100% on this, because everything that's going on is not going to end with just the monument. It's going to continue to move on. It's about stripping rights and stripping people's beliefs. Next, it'll be Christianity. Next, it'll move on to something else. But they're going to continue on till there is nothing left of the American people.
You're right. Hey, Daryl, hold on one second, brother. Daryl, we got to cut to a commercial break. Stay on the phone, and we're gonna come right back to you after the commercial break. Okay, brother?
All right.
All right. We'll be right back.
As we fight for this.
Hello,
I'm Sharon Boland-Yerby. I'd like to invite you to join me every weekday morning at 6 a.m. for my brand new show, The Change, right here on WGSO 990 AM.
National Wildlife Federation gives voices to the wildlife conservation values that are part of our country's heritage. Visit nwf.org/Louisiana to find out more.
Thursday night on The Truth Underground. It's back. Just when you thought it was dead, the next round of the Trump-Russia saga hits the airwaves this week. Something else is back too, but this is not being reported in the mainstream media. Let's find the connection between the Russia-Trumpers and the Flat Earthers on this week's journey into the Truth Underground. Join me, Jim Rivas, for a walk on the wild side of reality and discover what else could it mean. Thursday night at 9 p.m. right here on WGSO Radio.
Hello, this is David Jeremiah. Join me each weekday morning at 5:30 or 6:30 for Turning Point here on Talk Radio 990 AM.
This advertisement does not constitute an offer to sell a franchise. The offer of a franchise can only be made through the delivery of a franchise disclosure document.
Fresh Healthy Vending is a new company that is revolutionizing the vending machine business by filling them with healthy and natural foods. That's right. Protein and energy drinks, teas and juices, yogurts, fresh fruits and veggies, soy milk, natural cereals, granola bars. Can you imagine that? It's like having a whole food store in a machine. And you can get in on the ground floor by getting your own Fresh Healthy Vending franchise. You can have your own small business placing healthy food vending machines all over your area in places like schools and hospitals and businesses and airports and other high traffic areas. Locations that embrace the idea because, they make money too. Full training and support and assistance in acquiring locations. It's all about timing, folks. Pick up the phone, make the call to Fresh Healthy Vending, and get all the details on what could be your big life moment. Get Fresh Healthy Vending franchise information now. Call 800-424-8282. 424-8282. That's 800-424-8282.
Newsmakers, sports, opinions, and your calls. Catch Inside New Orleans with Eric Asher Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on WGSO 990 AM New Orleans.
USA Radio News with Rod Williams-Dole.
CNN is reporting that Senator John McCain has a brain tumor. The senator and his family are reviewing further treatment options with the Mayo Clinic in Phoenix. Treatment may include chemotherapy and radiation. His doctors have said he is recovering from the surgery amazingly well, and his underlying health is excellent. New Yorkers will receive paid family leave.
Governor Cuomo's office calls the program a leader in the nation. If you're a new parent or caring for sick relatives or have family on active military duty abroad, you can take paid family leave. The program will be phased in, with employees able to use up to 8 weeks of leave in the first year. While workers won't get full pay, they'll have job protection and the promise of continued health insurance. The state has set up a hotline and website for employers, workers, and healthcare providers who have questions. Ethan Harp, New York.
USA Radio News.
We all need to take care of our hearts. And the best way to do that is with Super Ubiquinol CoQ10 from Life Extension. It's a powerful antioxidant that supports heart health. CoQ10 is also essential to cellular energy production. The energy-producing mitochondria inside your cells need CoQ10 to power essential organs like your heart and brain. And Super Ubiquinol CoQ10 absorbs better than other CoQ10 supplements. And now you can get Super Ubiquinol CoQ10 at half off, plus a complimentary bottle of vitamin D3, also from Life Extension. And of course, free shipping and handling on both of these vital supplements. Just call toll-free 1-855-870-6622. That's 1-855-870-6622. Or go to lifeextension.com/war.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
There's a fundraiser tonight at the Mets game to benefit the family of a murdered Bronx policeman. Scott Pringle with details.
The 3 children of NYPD officer Miasotos Familia will be throwing out the first pitch. Familia shot and killed while on patrol earlier this month and leaves behind a 20-year-old daughter and 12-year-old twins. Now, before the game, there will be a fundraiser benefiting Familia's family and other family members who lost loved ones in the line of duty. The New York Police and Fire Widows and Children's Benefit Fund holding a pregame reception in the Bullpen Plaza. Some former and current Mets will be on hand. Scott Pringle, New York.
A 72-year-old man with dementia went missing, is safe in San Bernardino. Randy Fuller with details.
Police say James Burks was reported missing yesterday afternoon. When he drove away from his home in Ocean Beach, it was the first time he'd been behind the wheel of a car in 5 years. CHP officers found him during the overnight hours and say he's safe and sound.
Randy Fuller was reporting from the Inland Empire. This is USA Radio News.
This is Shaquille O'Neal
And the Shaquettes.
reminding you that anytime is a good time.
Good time.
For the cooling, drying, fresh scent of Gold Bond powder spray. Like after the gym.
Or a crowded elevator ride.
Or golf.
Or working with farm animals.
Or a hard day's work.
Like sportscasting.
You said it, ladies. Stay cool with Gold Bond powder spray.
Stay cool with Gold Bond.
The hot summer.
I'm Jeff Cruere.
I'm Eric Asher. You can always catch us on the radio right here on WGSO 990 AM.
Did you know you can catch us on TV?
That's right, Jeff. We're on WLAE TV.
Join me every Friday on Ringside Politics with a Punch at 7:30 with a rebroadcast Sunday at 10 p.m.
Check me out every Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. and a rebroadcast Friday at 10 p.m. for Inside New Orleans Sports. That's WLAE TV, Cox Channel 14, Satellite and AT&T Channel 32, Charter Channel 11. Don't miss it.
Overnight tonight, early in the morning, muggy, humid start, a coastal shower possible, a stray storm, and during the day, only isolated, if any, thunderstorms. It's just mostly partly cloudy and hot and dry Thursday afternoon. That heat index up there above 100, otherwise around the mid-90s. Then the rain chance slowly comes back gradually a little bit each day Friday into the weekend. Muggy, warm start of the morning Friday. Scattered storms come back 30-40% Friday, 40-50% each day into the weekend. The 10th Annual Jewel of Madisonville Gala and Auction, Saturday, July 22nd at the Castine Center, Mandeville. Food from over 50 of St. Timothy's best restaurants. Live dance music by Groovy 7. Silent and live auctions. Get your raffle tickets at the gala or online at 501auctions.com, St. Anselm, for your chance to win a 2017 $37,000 Buick Envision. Donated by Rainbow North Shore Buick GMC. 985-845-7342. Ralph Sanji, WGSO. 2017 $37,000 Buick Envision. Donated by Rainbow North Shore Buick GMC. 985-845-7342.
It's the Battle of New Orleans.
There we go.
Radio. Bringing truth to your eardrums.
Here we go. All right, we're back. Battle of New Orleans Radio. Look, we got a pretty full line. If you want to call in 504-556-9696, say whatever you want. We're going to go right back to, I think it's Daryl on line number 1. Go ahead, Daryl.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, man. So, Daryl, we got a few callers after you, and we got about an hour left. So, just go ahead, what you got, and let's chat it out, brother.
What'd you experience in New Orleans, man? I know you're from. I know it freaked a lot of people out, man, because Black Rebel, Arlene Barnum, maybe yourself, they came away like, whoa, dude, that's like, it's like a concrete jungle, and it's like they're letting all free for all, the NOPD standing down. So, what was your experience?
Well, when I first got there, and we can start back from Miss Arlene. Okay, the night before, I was sitting there watching Miss Arlene's footage, and she got attacked the first. She got a little roughed up the first night, and I was like, well, I can't stand down here and do nothing, and so I hopped a couple days later. I finally got the money up, and I took off. I came to New Orleans, and I met Miss Arlene and all them down there. Well, during the process, with all the people coming out, cussing, screaming, and running their mouths, that was just, it was normal on that part at first because it was just little groups. Well, and as the things went on, things progressed, and it got worse, and it was like, well, why are you, we tried to talk to the people, and, I tried to talk to them. And what was really, really caught my attention is I actually talked to this one guy. I can't remember his name now, but he was one of them. And he calmed down. I finally got him to calm down. He wasn't yelling anymore. He wasn't screaming. And I asked him, I said, bro, what is your deal with this monument? Why are y'all hating this monument? And he's like, hey, man, he said, look, if you want me to be honest with you, I said, yeah. I really want to know what's going through y'all's minds, man. He's like, well, they pay it. As long as I get paid, I don't care. I don't care nothing about this monument. I don't care nothing about all this. As long as I'm getting paid.
So he was admitting that he was a paid protester.
Exactly.
Right?
I got my Soros paid protest money.
Yeah, Walt Isaacson, everybody's funding everything. Just checks are being cut left and right. So Daryl, I mean, we got all that, and then, you know, let's fast forward to the second visit that you came. What happened on that time when you came down? Tell us about that.
Well, the second night, the second time I came back after the first time after I left after I got hurt. Well, I came back the second time.
And also, Daryl, be specific as to why you came back. What made you come back? Because I know that you kind of had a bit of you know, you kind of had it out with your family as to whether you should return or not, because they knew how dangerous it was the first time, but you told them you were coming back for a specific reason. What was that reason?
Well, everything that was going on during, like I said, after May Day and everything happened during that part, then we moved, then I left, and then when I got back home, you know, we started healing up, and then Miss Orleans and everybody left down there, and the only thing that was down there was, you know, it was KK. Well, we kept trying to watch KK's feed and trying to watch what was going on to try to keep in touch with what was going on, but everything was radio silent. Nothing was going on. Right. And so I made the choice, you know, I decided to go back to see what was going on, because here we are, you know, we were supposed to be keeping each other in contact with one another, letting know what's going on, if we made any progress, so on and so on. Well, that came to par, and then just something did not add right. You know, and I got asked to actually go back and meet up with KK to actually go to Texas, go to the rally in Texas. So I said, well, I'll go down and meet with KK, and you know, we can rally that point, and we can go down that from there. So when I went back down there that night, I got there, it was something else, brother. I mean, it wasn't like what we were doing. It wasn't nothing like what we were doing at all, and nothing.
It wasn't what we signed up for, huh?
It was.
You saw some things that were kind of.
Yeah, the drinking.
Yeah, the drinking with the
guns and the drinking, the attitudes, the basically just going out on the limb, you know, telling people to get out of their cars, you know, turning, running the mouth, and it was just constantly one thing after another. And I tried talking to him, and we actually got into a fighting argument over it.
And Daryl, that's my thing, Daryl. See, that's my thing, brother. These people that are talking all this stuff about everything and this and that on Facebook or on social media, or they're doing their events, they are acting like they were out there night and day, you know, devoting all their time to it, like we were, like me, you, KK, everybody was out there.
I wasn't always.
Well, I'm not trying to say anything bad about anybody that didn't, but those people are on Facebook and all these other social media platforms. Patriots, come out to the event. Blah,
I got
blah,
a
blah.
PayPal. Somebody send me some money. I need some cigarettes.
They were claiming they were there the night that me and KK had it out. You know, they all kept trying to make it look like he didn't do nothing wrong, and everything was being tried to cover up again. You know, it's one cover-up after another with that bunch. And, you know, the fact of it is as simple as this, and I put it on everything I love. You know, the drinking, I could have tolerated the drinking as long as there was no guns involved. I even could have tolerated a little bit of cussing here and there. But when you turn around and you walk up to a man, people just had a wreck the day before, just had a wreck. You walk up, you're constantly strapped down to the gill. You got a vest on, you got guns. This man asks you politely, hey, man, get the heck away from me. And you turn around and then people start just turn around and just start bashing that dude, start cussing him, start calling him names and everything else, just because he wanted to get away. Well, then it didn't stop from there. Like I said, people were getting called names and getting called this and getting called that, told them to get the hell down the street, calling them the N-words, calling them this, calling them lesbos, the whole nine works, just trying to agitate shit that should have never, excuse my French, should have never been done.
Oh, no cursing, guys.
We wasn't about that. I know I slipped up. I'm sorry.
Live radio, sorry. I slipped up too, not TV.
Well, Daryl, and I completely agree. There were some things out there that I didn't agree with. There were some things out there that you didn't agree with, and a lot of people didn't agree with them. And, a lot of people just chose to turn the blind eye and craft lies and craft false narratives as to what really occurred, and it's just sad.
People don't want the truth to come out, man. And it's the truth, like I say.
No, and they only want what sells. So if a lie is going to sell, they'll roll.
It's easy just to say, look, man, I'm sorry I made a mistake versus that I messed up, and just be done with it and fix the situation. But to go on and continue to cover up one lie after another and cover up one situation after another with another lie and another lie and another lie, and it continues to go on that way. And it's like, dude, I was standing there that night when he turned around and he told the dude rode around the block. It's a public street. Dude could drive anywhere he likes.
Well, Daryl,
it's a public neighborhood.
Let me
people can go anywhere they want to.
Daryl,
we don't have no control over who comes and goes.
Let me say something, Daryl. Listen, you got a lot of energy and you got a long story, man. And we got a couple other callers. Well, Nathan actually disconnected. Let me say one thing that I saw. I want you to hear this, Daryl. Okay, Nathan's holding on. He's going to be talking in a second. But let me say this to Machiavelli and Daryl. Daryl, number one, we appreciate you coming down. We know both sides were from out of state. We saw about a week later, I don't know if you were at Lee's Circle, but I know I saw it.
Who was?
The entities that were pro-monument were fighting with each other on a bigger level than you're talking about with KK and this and that. We had white nationalists who were there, the League of the South, and they were fighting with the Confederates. The white nationalists are saying, look, we care about the 14 words, 1488, and the defense of the white race. We're depopulating. They're calling out Zionists and saying that Jewish bankers control everything, blah, blah, blah. And then the Confederate types are like Arlene Barnum and this and that. I don't think she was at the monument, but the Confederate types, the Civil War historian types, were like, you know what? We're not about that life. We support Israel. We're not about bagging on Zionism and all that. We're here to protect the history of America, the history of the South, our heritage, and things like that. And then, Daryl, you had a third group, which Machiavelli was touching base on, which was frustrating. All those people who said they were there, they drove in or flew in last minute. They're, social justice warriors on YouTube. They're Captain America's on YouTube. They're trying to set up PayPal accounts to make a quick dime so they could buy booze or whatever, pay their rent. And they were questionable too. And all three groups, Daryl and Machiavelli, were fighting with each other, and yet they were all supposed to be there to defend the monument. So, the white nationalists were fighting with the Confederates are fighting with the Captain Americas, and it was a mess. But go ahead.
Well, the one thing that really bugs me is, we busted our tail to take and get there, and we done it from the goodness of our heart because we truly believe in the history of this country. Mm-hmm. No matter what, we believe it. I believe it with all my heart. That history has to take and be left alone. That way future generations do not make the mistakes of the past. We learn from our mistakes by remembering. But once we stop remembering, that's when it will happen again. Well,
you're right about that, Daryl.
The rest of these guys are in, and I've called them out myself, and I've gotten a lot of heat over it. A lot of these guys are in it for their personal gain, man. It's basically for their personal deal. Like I don't agree with, them showing up down there, and then half a day later they're posting on YouTube and everything else talking about, hey, we're Battle of New Orleans 2017. Here's American. We went and bought all the American flags.
We're warriors. Yeah, listen, look, we're coming to a hard break, Daryl.
Well, hey, yeah, you're right, Daryl, and I'm glad that you're talking about that because all that is truth, and I love for what you did, man. But hey, look, Daryl, we're gonna have to let you go, brother.
Thanks for calling in.
Continue to watch my live feed, and we got everything else going on. We'll be on for another 45 minutes, and we're about to go to break right now. Then we're going to come back, and we'll hear from Nathan Lawrenson, and Kathy in Lakeview.
All right, Battle Neurals, we'll be right back.
Whether you're in the real estate market to buy, sell, lease, or looking for someone just to manage your properties, look no further than Paula Bourne with Plantation Properties. She has 34 years experience and is an expert of all of the latest programs available to homeowners. She has been my trusted realtor for years now. So please call Paula Bourne with Plantation Properties at 504-858-9293. That's 504-858-9293.
Ooh-wee. Hey, David, that smell good. What you eating on?
Man, I'm eating on some shrimp I got from J&N Big Easy Seafood.
Man, I had to get me some of that.
Yeah, bro, they specialize in the delivery, catering of 20 pounds or more boiled or live shrimp, crawfish, catfish, crabs, frog legs, and much more.
And how do I get in touch with J&N's Big Easy Seafood?
Just call them up. Call 985-640-8822. That's 985-640-8822. As the corporate media dies, MetroNow.com and TheDailyResistance.com continue to give you a decentralized and independent take on the latest current events as well as historical reference to help you wade through the propaganda of the prostitute media. Our mission is to inform the people of New Orleans about the issues of freedom, health, world events, and much more so that we as a community can thrive in the 21st century. Only with an informed public will we truly be free and independent. So take a look at MetroNow.com or TheDailyResistance.com as your independent news source.
Renovations Your Way. They renovate to fit your needs with complete customer service from start to finish that goes way beyond the job. With over 20 years experience, and they are fully insured, and they support the Battle of New Orleans Radio to unite the metro area in the fight for liberty.
Visit us on the web at renovationsyourway.com or call me, Daniel, at 985-402-5916. That's 985-402-5916. RenovationsYourWay.com. Mention you heard about us on Battle of New Orleans Radio and receive a 10% discount.
Does your house have a clogged up toilet, faulty electrical wires, or AC or heater just isn't blowing properly? Well, call Herman with Superior AC, Electrical, and Plumbing at 985-781-0418. Also specializes in new construction and covers the whole New Orleans metro area. So please, call our friend Herman with Superior AC, Electrical, and Plumbing at 985-781-0418. That's 985-781-0418.
Enjoy fresh fruit grown in your yard. JohnnyAppleseedTrees.com delivers and installs fruit trees and fruiting vines to your home or condo. Proudly serving Kenner, Metairie, and New Orleans. Apples, apricots, blackberries, citrus, figs, grapes, peaches, pears, persimmons, plums, and raspberries. All the trees and fruiting vines are grown right here in South Louisiana. Check out the Fruit Tree Guide for more information and visit JohnnyAppleseedTrees.com today. It's a great time to plant. JohnnyAppleseedTrees.com.
This is Simone.
This is Jacques from Restore the Mississippi River Delta Coalition, bringing you Delta Dispatches, Thursdays 5 to 6 p.m., where we'll talk about Louisiana's coast, its people, wildlife, and jobs, and why restoring it matters.
We'll bring on a variety of experts, political leaders, and other voices from across the coast to help you better understand Louisiana's land loss crisis and solution. We'll hope you join us.
Delta Dispatches, Thursdays at 5, WGSO 990 AM and WGSO.com.
Hi, this is Kate Delaney from America Tonight. The show kicks on at midnight, and I'm loving the overwhelming support in New Orleans. What a group of fantastic listeners here on WGSO 990 AM. Join me every morning to catch up on what I call the buzz in your backyard and mine. You'll hear some of the most interesting people on the planet from the world of business, politics, sports, and, well, just intriguing people with a story to tell. If you're around, give us a call. Don't worry, I'll spit out the number plenty of times on the air. Let's agree to meet at midnight right here on WGSO 990 AM in New Orleans.
Looking for the best rates on debit and credit card processing? From mobile pay to latest POS systems, e-commerce to pay at the pump solutions, NOLA Business Services has multiple processors to help fulfill your processing needs. Let NOLA Business Services show you how you can save money in your credit card processing. NOLA Business Services. Call us today at 504-431-8015 or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/NOLA Business Services. Facebook.com/NOLA Business Services.
Hi, I'm Dickie Brennan, and I'd like to invite you to our new Black Duck Bar located on the second floor of Palace Cafe. Rum is the chosen spirit of Palace Cafe's Black Duck Bar and features an extensive rum collection from all over the world. Be sure to join us for happy hour Monday through Friday, 4 to 6 p.m., with half-price small plates, local draft beer, and tap wine. Look forward to seeing you soon at Palace Cafe's new Black Duck Bar.
Mother, tell your children not to walk my way. Tell your children not to hear my words, what they mean, what they say. Mother,
Welcome back, everybody, to the Battle of New Orleans Radio, live right here in the Crescent City in New Orleans. And I want to go to one of our callers who's been on hold longest, Kathy in Lakeview. How you doing, Kathy?
Hi. I just thought this was funny, and I wanted to tell you about it.
Sure.
Yesterday, crazily, I got on WWL. I was driving in the car. I was like, "What the hell?"
Don't tell me you talked to Scoot.
Scoot?
It wasn't Scoot. I don't think I would even listen to him. But it was
He
somebody
banned
that-
me. He banned me, by the way. He banned me from
Oh,
talking.
really?
But, yep, go ahead.
Well, it's the person, and I don't know who it was because I listen. I
Tommy
really
Tucker,
don't.
maybe?
I listen to y'all.
I'm giving him too
It
many
wasn't
plugs.
Tommy Tucker, but somebody in the middle of the day, and I was doing an errand. Anyway, and they were talking about the lack of police and blah, 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 and all this.
We need drones.
So anyway, well, I said, well, my good friend Nathan Lawrenson with Battle of New Orleans Radio. I put the
Oh,
whole
they
thing.
don't like that.
He-
You can't name another
Well,
station. You're lucky.
But I got it in.
I can't believe it.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah. So anyway,
lucky.
I told them the whole thing, and I said about the meter maids, and I said, I think it's such a great idea, and I said because they have sort of like neighborhood policemen while they're still looking for illegal parked cars, and so he goes, well, wait, now here comes ignorance. Well, how can we afford that? I said, well, we can afford meter maids. So if we can afford meter maids, then maybe we could send them to police academy, and then
Love
and
that
then we're
movie.
not having the meter maids. And he goes, well, but you have to figure out, will the meter maids want to go to the police academy? That's what he asked me.
Wait,
So I
wait,
was
hold
like,
up.
oh,
We just handing out
know.
tickets. Now you want us to hand-to-hand combat? What
Well,
do I
like
look
Gary
like, Bruce
said,
Lee?
well, like Gary said, well, the meter maids are doing their part just like police officers. They're collecting money. So there you go.
Next, you're going to
But,
ask for them
anyway,
to fill potholes when they're in between writing writing notes out
But
on people's window.
I still think that was a fabulous idea. And now they have, and again, I don't know what channel or anything, but they have an actual program, not about New Orleans, but there is one of the, the programs that come on. It's happening live, and it's about meter maids. And about these two ignorant people driving around in a car trying to trap citizens. And, it's just crazy.
Well, Kathy-
They're actually...
Hey, Kathy, we appreciate you giving a plug to the show and Nathan Lawrence on WWL because, hey, I'm telling you right now, they're real Nazis over there, and you're lucky
I
to get
understand.
through. And
the only time that we ever listen to them is because of the sports, and that's it. But
Yeah,
it was on the radio, and I tried it.
I was wondering why the FBI info guard was downstairs. WWL must have called up DC or something. I appreciate it though, Kathy. No, I'm joking. We're okay. We've been targeted before. We'll be targeted again. Gene Black might be listening right now. Who knows? Machiavelli.
Well, I know that he was circling the LaToya Cantrell event, watching me in his red Corolla.
He's a Nazi killer,
Yeah.
and he called us
I
Nazis.
didn't think I was going to open up a can of worms. I'm sorry.
It's all right. We're okay. That's what we're here for. We're here to, can of something.
Okay, I'm
Open
looking
it up.
forward to hearing from Nathan.
Nathan is
Well,
going to
actually,
be.
Nathan
Nathan's
was
going
on
to
the
be.
phone, but
yeah,
he got cut off.
we
somehow.
got Nathan's busy. He's running a business. He's running for mayor. He's going to be back in studio hopefully in about 2 weeks, in the beginning of August. So me and Machiavelli are going to be holding it down. And again, we appreciate the call, Kathy. Do we have anybody else on the line? Okay, we do have somebody else on the line.
Kim, yeah, Kim.
Okay, Kim, you're on the air. Battle of New Orleans Radio.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Kim, what's
are we
going
talking
on? Well, what do you want to talk
Nothing
about?
much, guys. I don't know. Do you want to talk about the monuments? You want to talk about what's going on politically in the city?
Let's move over
What's
away
most
from the
important for you?
monuments. Let's talk about the political race going on in the city right now. Who do you think has the most clout?
Has the most clout.
Yeah, who's gonna win in your eyes?
Nathan.
Come
Come on, Lawrence, he's going to clean it all up.
Actually, I mean, the three that we have that are political hacks that have been running things behind the scenes, that's who people are going to see because they're in the forefront. Doesn't mean that anybody likes any of them.
I saw a candidate kiss an inner city child. Like, held the child, took a picture with the child, caressed that little baby, gave a kiss on TV. When the cameras turned off, they dropped the baby. It was a little weird, but That's what they got to do. They got to do the whole thing, but.
Yeah, they got to do the schmoozing because
give me that little baby. I'm going to give you a house, all right? It's all paid for.
That's crooked politics in New
From
Orleans.
cradle to grave. Come on, start with the cradle.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be, we can talk about the thing at the library. We can talk about any.
Hey Kim, look. Here's the thing. We're about to go to a break. Real quick. We got 30 seconds of break.
Hold your thoughts.
Come back. Yeah, hold your thoughts. So when we come back, we're going to talk about the mayoral candidates and the
Whatever
race and everything else.
Yep. All right, we'll be right back. Battle of New Orleans Radio.
6,000 years of lies, choking your life, marching towards the end of days. So is that your fate? The choice is there for you to make. So what on earth will it take? Where will you draw the line? And will there be time? Will you finally break the chains enslaving your mind? It's time to make a stand.
This is Simone.
This is Jacques from Restore the Mississippi River Delta Coalition, bringing you Delta Dispatches, Thursdays 5 to 6 p.m., where we'll talk about Louisiana's coast, its people, wildlife, and jobs, and why restoring it matters.
We'll bring on a variety of experts, political leaders, and other voices from across the coast to help you better understand Louisiana's land loss crisis and solutions. We'll hope you join us.
Delta Dispatches, Thursdays at 5, WGSO 990 AM and WGSO.com.
Hi, this is Kate Delaney from America Tonight. The show kicks on at midnight, and I'm loving the overwhelming support in New Orleans. What a group of fantastic listeners here on WGSO 990 AM. Join me every morning to catch up on what I call the buzz in your backyard and mine. You'll hear some of the most interesting people on the planet from the world of business, politics, sports, and, well, just intriguing people with a story to tell. If you're around, give us a call. Don't worry, I'll spit out the number plenty of times on the air. Let's agree to meet at midnight right here on WGSO 990 AM in New Orleans.
Looking for the best rates on debit and credit card processing? From mobile pay to latest POS systems, e-commerce to pay at the pump solutions, NOLA Business Services has multiple processors to help fulfill your processing needs. Let NOLA Business Services show you how you can save money in your credit card processing. NOLA Business Services. Call us today at 504-431-8015 or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/NOLA Business Services. Facebook.com/NOLA Business Services.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Halen Doty. Governor Edwards announces $220 million in federal money will be allocated across the Baton Rouge area to protect against future floods and storms.
Edwards says the money comes from the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program.
Result in a multitude of drainage improvement projects and home elevation projects as well.
Edwards says the funds will be used to buy out flood-prone properties, improve drainage, and in some cases, home elevation.
We're going to be working with the parishes to advance those particular projects as well.
None of this money will go towards the much-talked-about Comey Diversion Canal project because funding for that must come from a different source. I'm Emily Gunn.
Could State Education Superintendent John White's job be in jeopardy? Governor Edwards says White was not reconfirmed by the Senate during the session. Over a dozen people filed a lawsuit alleging he needed that confirmation, but a judge dismissed the case. The judge noted few elected officials have the legal authority to petition to fire White, and the governor is one of those. Louisiana Radio Network.
Make your room the most comfortable place in town with the new Serta mattress. No one knows comfort better than Serta, America's #1 mattress manufacturer. Put your sleep problems to rest with the newly redesigned Perfect Sleeper, or experience our latest iComfort memory foam sleep system that helps comfortably cool and support every curve of your body. Shop today for special back-to-campus savings. Find a local retailer at CertaRetailers.com.
This is Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. Why spend more time and money to get to a vacation far away when you can have an unforgettable Louisiana staycation? Take a road trip to Jefferson Parish and join us for the Grand Isle Fishing Rodeo, the oldest fishing rodeo in the United States, July 27th through the 29th. While in Jefferson Parish, discover Lafitte's Barataria Museum or take a swamp tour on one of our beautiful bayous. Plan your trip to Jefferson Parish today at louisianatravel.com.
Ooh-wee. Hey, David, that smell good. What you eating on?
Man, I'm eating on some shrimp I got from J&N Big Easy Seafood.
Man, I had to get me some of that.
Yeah, bro, they specialize in the delivery, catering of 20 pounds or more boiled or live shrimp, crawfish, catfish, crabs, frog legs, and much more.
And how do I get in touch with J&N's Big Easy Seafood?
Just call them up. Call 985-640-8822. That's 985-640-8822.
Jobs may change, but your retirement dreams don't have to. Roll over your retirement accounts from former employers into an Ameriprise IRA to help make your retirement dreams a reality. Call Ralph Leopold today at 504-322-2975. That's 504-322-2975. Office is located at Suite 1620 in the Galleria, Metairie, Louisiana. Ameriprise Financial Services, Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC. Ameriprise cannot guarantee future financial results.
What does grace mean to you? For us, it means that in 3 years, Grace at the Greenlight, a 501c3 nonprofit organization, has served over 60,000 meals and distributed over 250,000 bottles of water to the street homeless in New Orleans. Grace at the Greenlight would like to thank Faubourg Private Wealth for sponsoring and making a difference in New Orleans. Faubourg Private Wealth, holistic planning tailored to your family.
Do you fight for liberty? Do you want prosperity here in Louisiana and our country? Do you want to defeat the fake news media? Listen to Iron Liberty News Radio, hosted by Colonel Rob Manus on WGSO 990 AM Monday evenings at 7 to 9 p.m. You can support us by going to ironlibertynews.com and putting a sponsorship in for Iron Liberty News Radio Monday evenings, 7 to 9 p.m. on WGSO 990 AM.
Came in last night at 10:30. That baby of mine wouldn't let me in, so move it on over. Move it on over. Move it on over.
And we are back. This is Machiavelli, and I'm here with Goyim, and we are the Battle of New Orleans radio show, and we're going to go back to our caller, Kim. Kim, what you got?
Hey, yeah, so we're going to talk. The first mayoral candidate gathering was at the Universalist Unitarian Church. I went to that, and they only had 2 mayoral candidates that were there.
And they had a big sign in the background, too, right?
Oh, yeah, they had a Black Lives Matter.
Promoting a hate group? Which group was it?
Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
It was it was a Universalist Unitarian Church, so they had it on the pulpit behind everything.
And
that was the first thing you saw when you walked in.
And the lifelong communist 66-year-old Malcolm Suber was actually in attendance as well, right?
Yes, he was. He was shaking. Latoya Cantrell's people all had on matching shirts. Cantrell for mayor, peach-colored with white. They were all covered out in the front row. There were several other mayoral candidates that were there, but they were not allowed to get up and speak with the other two, the judge and Cantrell. So it was kind of like a skewed gathering.
Right. So
Malcolm Suber was there. He was shaking the hands of the Cantrell staff, and lots of hugs were going around. Yeah, I took several pictures of.
So could it be that the communist leader of the group Take 'Em Down NOLA, whose logo is Andrew Jackson being lynched, and who wants to take down Joan of Arc and Andrew Jackson, could he be friendly and be in with the goblins? Or could Latoya end up being in with the goblins?
When I went to city council.
I don't expect her to get dirty, but
check. I went upstairs to check the roster to see if I could talk to one of the city council members, and he was already signed in speaking to one of the city council members. I can't say for who because he didn't have the name checked off, but he had all his information, and he was actually at that moment speaking with a city council member, I guess pushing his agenda. But even at the mayoral candidate gathering of only 2 candidates, you can see how skewed everything was. Even a woman got up to speak who had a difference of opinion about New Orleans being a sanctuary city and immigrants.
Right.
They booed her. They cursed her. They made fun of her. in front of everybody, and
she made a comment of what? Of New Orleans
she
being a
was
sanctuary
talking,
city?
about that she had been hurt by an immigrant, and she didn't feel that pushing, New Orleans being a sanctuary city was a good, healthy thing.
Well,
because she
the
was
thing
abused
is,
by one.
even if we're not technically titled a sanctuary city, in my eyes, we are. I mean, Trey Gowdy ripped Mr. Butterworth a brand new one in Congress.
Was for sanctuary cities, though.
Well, no, I'm saying
pancakes.
it was true. I mean, I'm serious. I love the video. Just go to YouTube, Trey Gowdy, GOWDY, Trey Gowdy, New Orleans. Trey Gowdy was completely appalled at the fact that the New Orleans Police Department is required to never ask any suspects or anybody that they interact with about their immigration status. So they cannot inquire under the policy, and it makes no sense because by them doing that, they're violating federal law. So therefore, state and federal funding should be cut off from New Orleans.
Well, that was one of the things she was talking about. They had literally attacked her, and even after the whole thing, she left. She was crying. They came outside and were like gathering around her, harassing her about it, literally making fun of her, in front of everybody. And because that the mayoral candidate meeting, the first one, was so skewed, no one had a chance that might have disagreed with what the church was promoting, what the leftist alt-left, because there were many people that I had seen out at the monuments, because I was there from the get-go, were there, hugging, shaking hands, talking with.
So they were being cool with each other, even though when they were at the monuments, they kind of weren't, all friendly.
No, they were friendly with each other because everybody there that was there for the two mayoral candidates were friendly with each other. They were all on their side, but they weren't allowing anybody else to speak or ask questions or disagree with their point of view, which was, take them down, all the Black Lives Matter at that mayoral candidate meeting, which I think it should, if it was open to the public, I think you should have been able to speak without being booed out of the place.
Right, especially in a church where...
verbally assaulted.
Yeah. You shouldn't be verbally assaulted for exercising your First Amendment.
It's not a church about Christianity. It's not a church about
No,
God.
It's
It's like about like social
Unitarian
justice.
Church,
That's what they...
You can get a sign online and fill out a piece of paperwork and...
It's a bunch of gibberish talking about social justice and stuff. That's like what they that's what they pray to.
The sign in the back, the sign for Steve Scalise to get well. But, you could tell by the way they were talking about anybody on the right was, very insulting. Now, they had one guy that was running for mayor that wants to get rid of the street cams.
Who's that?
The ticketing cams.
Well, Latoya said last night she'll get rid of them if she's mayor.
Good idea.
Right. She also said she was broke at the meeting.
What? She's broke? No money?
She did say that.
I'm broke. Everybody starts clapping. I can relate to that. Let's vote for
private donors.
Private
donors.
Walt Isaac's going to cut her a
I
check.
can relate to y'all because I'm broke, but she's got her daughter in private school.
Let's vote for her. She's one of us.
She had a car in the back with her
car.
college name on it that was like a Mercedes or something.
Ooh.
Right.
I ended up
I got
speaking with her.
a Chevette.
Yeah, I ended up speaking with her afterwards at a hamburger joint. She was there with her daughter, and we had a nice long conversation.
Eating burger. It's kind of pricey over here. What you got there? So what's she doing eating an expensive burger like that? Lying about she's got a Benz in the back, lying, saying she's broke. Let's look at this. Let's break this all down, Kim. We're seeing these Antifas hanging out with Latoya and Suber, their leader, who's led by Walt Isaacson, and
they're handing them checks when they got back on their bus.
Oh, geez,
at least
that's
at Beauregard.
crazy.
And she lives in Broadmoor too. She even made the comment to somebody that she couldn't afford her house today if she was there by today because they both.
Lawyer?
Huh?
Her husband's a lawyer, is he not?
I'm not sure. I haven't done that much.
He's a lawyer. Her daughter goes to private school.
Might be Mitch
Actually, went
Gibbs.
to the private school that I went to, so I know how much it costs to go there.
And I mean, to be honest with you, I have some insider information from a confidential source, which has some credibility to her. I gotta say, I've heard that Latoya honestly can't stand Mitch Landrieu personally.
Hey, listen.
Well, but I've also heard, credibly that that's his number one pick.
Of course.
Now, they're going to have the DNC gathering next month
Right.
here in New Orleans, and they've changed the name of the dinner from the Jefferson-Jackson dinner to Blue Party Unity, which basically sounds like, communist workers.
All right, well, listen.
dinner.
Hey, Kim, look, we got a couple more callers.
Yeah.
We only got about 8 minutes left on the show. Call in next week. We want to hear more. And you're pretty informed. Obviously, you've infiltrated a lot. You got a lot of know-how from the events.
Kim's the real deal, man.
She's the real deal. So, look, we're going to go to the next. Let's go to Renee. Renee in North Carolina. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, Renee, how are you?
Yeah, I don't know if y'all saw it, but I just saw something in the Daily Mail that happened in Louisiana. And, this is just getting old. I can't believe what the cops did to this poor young couple. Recently, the Baltimore cop, really his own camera caught himself planting drugs. Then they shot dead this poor little woman yoga instructor who called 911. Now, I see in Louisiana, this one just really got to me. There's this poor little couple. They live in Creola, in a rural area of Louisiana, and she has placenta previa, okay? She's pregnant.
Uh-huh.
7 weeks early. When you have placenta previa, the placenta is detaching from the uterus. You're basically bleeding to death, okay? So the little husband's going 108 miles an hour in a 55-mile-an-hour zone. The cops pull him over. Instead of seeing the situation and saying, look, we'll deal with your speeding later. I'll escort you to the hospital. Oh, no. Makes both of them get out the car at gunpoint because the brother gave more comments under the article than Daily Mail printed. They were wanting her to lie on the ground. She's standing there with blood running down her legs. They put him in handcuffs. They call an ambulance for her that took an hour to get there, which meant she and the baby could have died, okay? And they weren't far from the hospital.
Renee,
1 hour could have been life and death. What is wrong with the cops?
Renee, what town were they from?
Creola, and I saw it on the Daily Mail.
Well, we're going to have to look that up and check that out.
I drive a Creola. All right, well, look, Renee, we got 1 minute left.
Renee, we got to let you go,
What you got?
Renee.
Wait, hold on, Renee. What you got? Any final statements?
Just give us what you got.
We got 1 minute.
Because, look, Renee, to be honest with you, I've heard you come with some heat, girl, so what you got?
You got 45 seconds.
Well, no, it's just, could we just have some cops with a decent IQ? It's not like she could be lying or faking it. She's got a big belly and blood is running down her legs.
Well, Renee.
How big a moron do you have to be that you can tell these people are not lying and I need to get them to the hospital?
Listen, we appreciate the call. The police, just like the military, there's great people in those entities, but they will be used as the right arm for the New World Order agenda, unbeknownst to a lot of people.
Yeah, but they let themselves be used.
Yep, you're right. All right, we're coming to a break. Battle of New Orleans Radio. We'll be right back.
Enjoy fresh fruit grown in your yard. JohnnyAppleseedTrees.com delivers and installs fruit trees and fruiting vines to your home or condo. Proudly serving Kenner, Metairie, and New Orleans. Apples, apricots, blackberries, citrus, figs, grapes, peaches, pears, persimmons, plums, and raspberries. All the trees and fruiting vines are grown right here in South Louisiana. Check out the Fruit Tree Guide for more information and visit JohnnyAppleseedTrees.com today. It's a great time to plant. JohnnyAppleseedTrees.com.
Whether you're in the real estate market to buy, sell, lease, or looking for someone just to manage your properties, look no further than Paula Bourne with Plantation Properties. She has 34 years experience and is an expert of all of the latest programs available to homeowners. She has been my trusted realtor for years now. So please call Paula Bourne with Plantation Properties at 504-858-9293. That's 504-858-9293. Renovations Your Way. They renovate to fit your needs with complete customer service from start to finish that goes way beyond the job. With over 20 years experience, and they are fully insured, and they support the Battle of New Orleans Radio to unite the metro area in the fight for liberty.
Visit us on the web at renovationsyourway.com or call me, Daniel, at 985-402-5916. That's 985-402-5916. renovationsyourway.com. Mention you heard about us on Battle of New Orleans Radio and receive a 10% discount.
Does your house have a clogged up toilet, faulty electrical wires, or AC or heater just isn't blowing properly? Well, call Herman with Superior AC, Electrical, and Plumbing at 985-781-0418. Also specializes in new construction and covers the whole New Orleans metro area. So please, call our friend Herman with Superior AC, Electrical, and Plumbing at 985-781-0418. That's 985-781-0418.
As the corporate media dies, MetroNow.com and TheDailyResistance.com continue to give you a decentralized and independent take on the latest current events as well as historical reference to help you wade through the propaganda of the prostitute media. Our mission is to inform the people of New Orleans about the issues of freedom, health, world events, and much more so that we as a community can thrive in the 21st century. Only with an informed public will we truly be free and independent. So take a look at MetroNow.com or TheDailyResistance.com as your independent news source.
Ooh-wee. Hey, David, that smell good. What you eating on?
Man, I'm eating on some shrimp I got from J&N Big Easy Seafood.
Man, I had to get me some of that.
Yeah, bro, they specialize in the delivery, catering of 20 pounds or more boiled or live shrimp, crawfish, catfish, crabs, frog legs, and much more.
And how do I get in touch with J&N's Big Easy Seafood?
Just call them up. Call 985-640-8822. That's 985-640-8822.
We're back. Battle of New Orleans Radio, everybody, right here in the heart of the Crescent City, right here in the CBD. 990 AM WGSO. I want to shout out to WGSO. Thank you for allowing us to broadcast. And I want to go to a caller that's been holding for quite some time, and I appreciate you holding, Tony. Tony, what you got, brother? We're kind of short on time, so you got 60 seconds, man. How are you?
I am great. I wanted to say you mentioned something a minute ago.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to bring up the exact thing. Your listeners, pay attention here. Go to YouTube and look up Trey Gowdy, dumbfounded by New Orleans immigration policies.
That's what it was. That's dude. That's one of my most favorite videos. Oh my God! All right, go ahead, Tony.
It was put out. There's lots of versions, but look for the one put out by Media Buzz. It's short, down to about 10 minutes. Or you can look up the whole full questioning. But the session that Trey Gowdy did, absolutely stunning to think that 3 adult human beings that couldn't even come up with good kindergarten answers.
Oh, man. I mean, did you hear Mr. Butterworth? He kept saying, he said, we arrest every criminal. I mean, and Gowdy just Gowdy mode was activated after that. And Gowdy's like, sir, they're only a criminal after they've, you know what I mean? I mean, it was just amazing.
All right, but in here also, they admit that due to Mitch Landrieu's policies,
right,
they cannot inquire. Cannot. He asked him, does not or cannot? Cannot inquire if someone is an illegal immigrant or even investigate to see if they are.
Yep.
That's called Trey Gowdy, dumbfounded by New Orleans immigration policies. That was in September of 2016 when this inquiry went in, but it is outstanding.
Yeah, man.
This is the evidence. This is the evidence of terminal stupidity and chronic ignorance in the mayor's office.
I mean, yeah, it's horrible, man, and I'm just so sick of it, you know. And how are the federal law entities gonna know when we are having these illegal aliens in our city? When are the federal law entities going to know? They're not going to know because our police officers under the dictatorship of Mitch Landrieu have a requirement where they cannot inquire about a person's immigration status. And Tony, look, I love what you're saying, brother. I'm going to share that video on my Facebook, and we'll share it on the Battle of New Orleans Radio's Facebook. But hey, brother, we got to let you go. We got a few things to talk about in closing, but I appreciate you calling, and I want to hear from you next week, brother. Thank you.
So, Machiavelli, what you got, man? We're wrapping up the show. We got 6 minutes.
All right, guys. All right. So here it is. Here's my thing. So we have basically, and what it's called is civil asset forfeiture, and that's what's going on right now. AG Sessions, his plan will basically expand slavery and government theft. It's going to expand under him. So basically, what civil asset forfeiture will allow law enforcement to do is steal your property without ever charging anyone with a crime. It'll let alone finding them guilty in order to fund their bureaucracy. So basically what you got is total control over the citizens having no rights. I mean, if you have no property rights, you become the property to the government. So the property rights are fundamental to a free people and a free society, right, Goyim? Yeah. So a society where there are no property rights, no judicial process before seizing property is a society of slaves.
Machiavelli, are you going to seize cash? Are you going to be, a terrorist if you have cash on hand? Or, is that like, because look, they want this cashless society so badly. I know that's one of these big agendas for the United Nations. So
yeah, and it's like, and so when I was saying, a society where there are no property rights, no judicial process before seizing property is a society of slaves where the owners can take whatever they wish, when they wish, under whatever pretense they choose. So anything can happen to you, and you can just be done. So civil asset forfeiture, once again, everybody, allows law enforcement to steal property without ever charging anyone with the crime, let alone finding them guilty in order to fund their bureaucracy. And another thing that I want to go to, which kind of coincides with this civil asset forfeiture, is this government health care. You see, we don't need to replace Obamacare. We need to repeal Obamacare. You could see the story about Charlie Gard in the UK. Him and his parents were given U.S. citizenship to fly him to America for treatment to save his life. He is a young baby, Charlie Gard. Charlie, Charlie, Gard, Gard. Look him up. And basically, a pro-life congressman gave Charlie Gard new hope this week when they granted the British infant and his parents permanent residence in the U.S. So that was Jeff Fortenberry, pro-life Republican from Nebraska. Thanks, Jeff Fortenberry, for doing that. But at the same time, there's an ongoing legal battle at the same time because poor Charlie Gard is not being allowed to leave where he is currently now. And that is, in my eyes, government health care. So that is why we need to repeal Obamacare, and we need to have more senators and congressmen like this, and it's just sad because, they're not going to bring this poor child, the 11-month-old British infant that's suffering from a mitochondrial disease and brain damage over to the U.S., where there's over $2 million already raised to take care of his health and fix his problems. But they will bring a small dog into the U.S. to get amazing veterinarian care to save the dog's life. So, to me, that's kind of crazy. I love animals. I love pets, but I think a person holds a little bit more on that. And, what do you think about all that, Goyim?
Listen, I mean, that ties into that agenda where, they want you to worship animals. And look, animals are great. I think they have feelings. Don't get me wrong. Just like these people protesting fishing, saying, give me that fish off the hook. Throw it back in the water. Fish have feelings too. Fish lives matter. Obviously, dogs and cats are like on a different level than fish, but to these social justice warriors, it's all the same. But again, that agenda to depopulate, to have less kids, to have cats, not kids, it comes from that inflation. depopulation from inflation, Machiavelli.
Right.
We can't afford to have kids anymore because the Federal Reserve's printing all your currency out of thin air. So look, we got 1 minute left. Wrap it up, Machiavelli.
So basically, back to Sessions, AG Jeff Sessions, and it's right here in the New York Times. President Trump said on Wednesday that he never would have appointed Attorney General Jeff Sessions had he known Mr. Sessions would recuse himself from overseeing the Russia investigation that has dogged his presidency, calling the decision very unfair to the president. So that is my last final remarks. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We always appreciate it. Go ahead and spread the word about the Facebook page.
We're going to have some candidates in
and
next
we're going to
week.
have some mayoral candidates next week live in studio to talk about the mayor's race. Hopefully Cantrell, Scurlock, and one other more. So go ahead and be able to share that, get the word out. And once again, we appreciate you from myself, Machiavelli, and Goyim, Battle of New Orleans Radio.
Greetings, New Orleans. This is James Moises of Moises Wines, thanking you for 6 years of drinking my Pinot Noir from the Willamette Valley of Oregon. Seeing how my wine has become a big part of many of your memories and special occasions has surpassed my expectations. From me and the entire Moises Wine family, thank you for all your support.